Hey guys, it's Silly here, and today I'm talking about the Melanie situation. So, of course, it's going to include the R word. That's a little trigger warning, by the way. So, I'm sure anyone who's either listened to Melanie Martinez, has YouTube, or both has heard of the Melanie situation. Let's dive into the controversy, and this will be a long video. Grab some snacks, maybe drinks, and an open mind. This is Silly reporting for duty. So first, let's look at our well-known evidence. Timothy was R-worded by Melanie, posted it, and got all the dates wrong. Well, that's easy. Melanie is innocent, right? Not really. Let's get into the facts. First, the date that Timothy put the allegations out was the day that Melanie had her tour, which most people suspected she was lying because of the date, when in reality, most victims forget the date due to trauma blackouts or trying not to remember that at all. Also, women, although not as common as men, can still do it. But why didn't Timothy tell the police? If she didn't tell them, she's a liar. Okay, calm down, buddy. As someone who is a SA victim, I have never told anyone in my family. I would suffer the guilt of them not believing me. Also, since Melanie is a famous person, she probably wouldn't spend time in jail, or at least not that long. But the big thing is, according to Danielle's advocacy, go watch her video on it, it's really good. Only around 25 of the criminals go to jail for it. Out of 1,000, by the way. 975 go free. Lastly, for this piece, there are a few other allegations. I didn't know theirs as well as I should, and here's Timothy's statement. When I wrote this story, I initially didn't want to make the abuser known, but I think this is important to say that it is Melanie Martinez. When faced with a friend who really needed help, though, I can say honestly that she let me down completely. During the most difficult time of my life, my rock bottom, her power and control over me grew and grew, and I was silenced. While being open about realizing about how much help I needed, I was made to feel guilty. I had to apologize for having an extreme panic attack where I thought I was going to die, because it ruined her night. Endless nights like this, I had become a problem. Yet, through it all, I loved her. Codependency works in a lot of strange ways. In my relationship with this friend, I was dependent on helping her with her life. As soon as I needed a small bit of focus and support from my best friend, there was nothing for us to relate to each other about. Our friendship was about her. The power she had over me grew into me having a very hard time saying no to her. I would do almost everything for her. One night during a sleepover, she became increasingly interested in my sexual preferences. As someone who has previously been through sex is hard for me to talk about. I was obviously uncomfortable, but she is my best friend, so I tried to be open about it. The conversation never seemed to end, though. I had work early in the morning. She began asking me while in bed if I would have sex with her. While being incredibly uncomfortable by this offer, I attempted to laugh it off. I had a boyfriend at this time, and she knew that. He doesn't have to know. It's not a big deal. It went on for hours, asking me why I didn't want to, that it would be fun. I repeatedly said no. I had work in the morning. I just wanted to sleep. I was exhausted. I attempted to sleep, but was kept up the entire night by my friend begging me to sleep with her. It seemed strange, but she was my best friend. I said no and thought we could move on. The next night, unfortunately, went the exact same way. Regardless of my response the first night, she was not giving up. If she had gotten the hint, she didn't care. I was exhausted. She convinced me to smoke weed, and since I had a hard time saying no to her, I complied, thinking maybe we'd just be able to fall asleep and avoid the situation altogether. The same conversation began to happen, continuously trying to convince me it was going to be okay and would be fun and feel good. I would say my boyfriend would be upset. I really need to sleep. I have work in the morning. I said every form of no I could think of. As I lay praying to fall asleep, she began touching my arm. I allowed this for her to happen, for her to do it. Maybe she'd give up. This went on for maybe an hour. I got increasingly uncomfortable. I started giggling, saying that it tickled. I in no way wanted to make this a sexual situation. Can I do this? Can I just touch your arm? Can I just touch your boobs? She began bartering with me. All I wanted to do was go to sleep. She began talking about the appearance of my boobs and begged to just touch them. We didn't have to do anything else. I was so exhausted and confused and high and belittled, I just allowed it to happen. This led to her touching the rest of me. I never said yes. I said no, repeatedly. But she used her power over me and broke me down. Just so there is no confusion, I was M-worded by my best friend. I lay still in shock, completely not reciprocating. I hate speaking so bluntly, on this because it makes me extremely uncomfortable, but she performed oral on me, and I was then penetrated with a toy without being asked. That's what happened. The bottom line is that I always need to remind myself that I said no for 2 nights straight. It doesn't matter that I didn't resist during the action. I had been broken down. She knew I didn't want to. I made that clear. I didn't scream at her. I didn't force her off me because I loved her. 2, because I wanted it to just be all over. We never talked about this night ever again. While it completely messed with my head, there was no way I could have been R-worded by my best friend, right? Our friendship ended because she didn't have time for me anymore, to worry about me anymore. She cared too much about me. It was holding her back. I'm not sure how to end this story. I'm terrified because of the response I'm going to get. The only reason I do this now is because I'm hoping, because of recent events, people will believe me. If you begin to doubt the abuse taking place in this story, I beg you to imagine her in this role being a man. Girls can R-word girls. Best friends can R best friends. Friendship does not equal consent. Silence doesn't equal consent. I wish it wasn't so hard to convince myself of these things. That statement was Timothy's, and I'll show both of Melanie's statements now. I am horrified and saddened by the statements and story told tonight by Timothy Heller. What she and I shared was a close friendship for a period of time. We came into each other's lives as we were both starting our careers as artists, and we tried to help each other. We both had pain in dealing with our individual demons and new paths we were forging, but I truly felt we were trying to lift each other up. She never said no to what we chose to do together, and although through parted ways, I am sending her love and light anyways. I understand how hard it could be to see my side of the story, considering no one with a heart would invalidate anyone speaking about this topic. I want to thank my fans who took the time to research the timeline, analyze past Instagram photos, and question the story being told, which reveals her false statements. I trusted so many people in my life who took advantage of that trust for her own personal gain. Please know my intentions with everything that I do in my life are always pure, and I would never be intimate with someone without their absolute consent. So after Melanie, releases their statements, and lots of fans swarm off to believe her. She also releases a song called SoundCloud named Piggyback. It just pretty much sings about how the allegations ruined her life and her career, and how she doesn't care. And also to end this video off, as an ex-Melanie believer and an SA victim, I very much believe Timothy. Maybe this has changed your mind too. Yeah. Silly out! Also, post-editing, I'm doing this in my basement. I don't have a mic. This is my first time making a voiceover video. Okay, bye. Also, sorry that I sound like a girl of some sort. Like, I'm sorry. A guy, actually. But, like, I sound like a girl.